First, we would like to the head of the Department of Architecture of the College of Design and Environment of the National University of Singapore, and also UNESCO Chair on Architectural Heritage Conservation and Management in Asia, Professor Peng, to give a welcome address.
Hi, everybody. Good morning to all who participated in this, who's here in this community engagement in architecture design education in ASEAN, organized by AUN-ADERA. This is not the first symposiums, I believe. Chii can tell us more, but I think it's one of the biggest and also probably very significant because to me, community engagement in our design process, both in planning, in architecture design, as well as urban design and conservation, is an important component. And we know of that for many years. And Beng Kiang and IMSIC have been doing a lot in promoting community education and engagement in education, in architecture design education here in NUS for many, many years. And one of the keynote speaker, John from Taipei, was also invited many years ago to come to NUS to conduct a series of workshops and lectures. So I'm really glad to see many people participating here with expert knowledge, but I'm also very glad to see many, many people who are interested in this particular topic, which to me is an important topic towards building up a civil society. And I see that in Singapore, in urban design, in township public spaces, in conservation practices and engagement, this particular aspect of bringing and empowering the citizens, empowering the community to bring everybody together so that we have a stake in whatever that's going to be put in place in our community, in our urban spaces, in our heritage, in our architecture design. And I think this process cannot be stopped. And this process is actually very, very important for the future of community building, as well as better architectural practices in ASEAN. And I'm also noticed that many of the speakers came will be presenting their experiences with community engagement in their various cities and community. I think those are to be encouraged. And I hope the symposium will yield results in sharpening our practices, but also in making this as a kind of key component in the design process that we are going through. Likewise, 2 years ago, when we were appointed to curate the Singapore Pavilion in the 17th Venice Architecture Biennale, the theme that we selected is togetherness. So how do we come together to share and to have a community building? And some of the exhibits in our Biennale includes togetherness, not only in the human community, but between us and community cats, or between us and nature, and between us perhaps and our afterlife. And so in such a kind of projection of where we go from here, I think community participation is definitely the key components to push forward. I would like to thank Professor Oranratmanee, as well as Kiang from NUS and Chiang University, in organizing this very, very important symposium. And I really like to thank all the speakers, the keynotes, as well as everyone that participates in this e-symposium. Thank you all for coming in to participate in this symposium hosted by us in NUS, but I hope you will bring back to whatever you are doing, really great wealth of knowledge and experiences, and also perhaps you can promote this aspect of architecture design, urban design to a wider audience and practicing it in your own community. Thank you so much, and wishing the symposium a great success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Ho, for that wonderful welcome address. I'd like now to introduce somebody who actually needs no introduction, Associate Professor Wong Chii. He is the co-convener of AUN-ADERA, Department of Architecture in the National University of Singapore. He is one who has been able to gel our community together and bring together all of us on the very first AUN-ADERA, and also kick-started this entire chain of events. So, Prof. Wong, if you would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Shan. Thanks, Prof. Ho, for the introduction. Well, good morning to everybody, participants, students, practitioners, faculty from ASEAN regional universities, and from those outside and beyond. Well, this symposium is the second of the AUN-ADERA program of works. This two-day event, I think, marks a very significant milestone for us as we traverse through the 6 working groups of the network in identifying issues, problems pertinent to our discipline, namely education, research, and design in the built environment. And of course, our unstated objectives, which I think we continuously have to remind us, is to forge an effective forum to share experiences, knowledge, in creating a more responsive environment to live, to work, to play, to contemplate, wherever we might be, and with whatever resources and techniques that we have on hand. For those universities who have returned to participate in and support AUN-ADERA activities, I'd like to thank you warmly from the bottom of my heart. And for those faculty members from universities attending the symposium for the first time, may I plead to you to bring our cause to the attention of your faculty head, or rather your faculty deans and department heads. Come actively participate in the working groups to host and to develop discursive activities such as this symposium, and conferences and seminars to enrich our regional exchanges. And when food travel is possible, hopefully we can meet in physical and look at each other in the eyes and smile and say, well, after all this rough 2 years, we are finally able to meet and get together. But just as a background to share with you the working groups, and I hope you take time to visit our website, AUN-ADERA, and to obtain a bit more details of the kind of things we're interested to do. Working group 1 is on design pedagogies, for which I think we held a seminar recently, about a month and a half ago, led by architect Kiang Soon, who shared with us his thoughts on creating this thing called an activist architecture, followed by 3 responses from ASEAN head of schools of SUTD, University of Philippines, and Chulalongkorn University. Working group 2 is on history, society, and culture, and under that working group, we hosted our first symposium on the teaching of history and attending to the kind of historical legacies and physical artifacts from the past, particularly the modern period, which are objects of tremendous, what you call, under threat because of the evolving scholarship. In working group 3, we had a thing called design technologies. Working group 4, which heads this particular symposium, is focusing on urbanism, environment, and community. Working group 5, the profession accreditation. Working group 6, special projects. I figure I better do some what I call touting of the different working groups so that you all can get interested and sign up with proposals, what we should undertake. As I said, more information on the AUN website. I would like also to share with the group that Prof. Chia, my co-convener, will take on this job after the end of June as I retire into the sunset and do other things, which are, of course, equally important in architecture. Well, please give him the collegiate support that you have generously accorded me in these last 3 years, which have been difficult, but I think overall, I think fantastic. And of course, I'd like to also thank Prof. Tan Beng Kiang and Prof. Rawiwan for organizing this symposium. And as Prof. Ho highlighted, this is probably the biggest one that we have done so far. And to our NUS Global Relation Office, of course, for the funding support, without which I don't think we can undertake this project. So finally, I wish you all a productive 2-day session in sharing, and hopefully we are able to also proceed with some good publications out of this symposium. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Wong, for that introduction. I would like to introduce the 2 co-chairs of today's symposium, Associate Professor Tan Beng Kiang and Professor Rawiwan Oranratmanee. Professor Kiang is leading community design studios and service learning projects in Southeast Asia. Her teaching and research interests are in participatory community design and planning, design for aging and housing. She is a registered architect in Singapore and also serves on various advisory committees and is also a recipient of numerous design and teaching awards, including the Pacific Rim Award for Excellence in Public Interest Design for a small village project in Southeast Asia. She graduated from DDES, Harvard University in the US, and also MArch in UCLA, and also a Bachelor of Architecture in Honors from NUS. Professor Rawiwan Oranratmanee is the Dean and of the Faculty of Architecture, Chiang Mai University, and the President of the Council of the Deans of Architecture Schools in Thailand, or CDAST. Dr. Rawiwan is a professor in architecture and architect by profession. Her education background is in architecture, specializing in vernacular architecture. She has won multiple book awards on Southeast Asian architecture, as well as those in South China, and India. So I would like to give them the time to introduce what we will be doing today, and also what we will be doing tomorrow.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending the symposium. This symposium hopes to bring together like-minded educators who are interested in community engagement in architecture education to share their experience. Well, thanks to the pandemic, we are used to having virtual events, which makes it possible to bring all of us in ASEAN together in such a short time for such an exchange. Today, we have 16 presentations from 9 countries, 14 universities, and there are close to 200 participants who registered from ASEAN and all over the world for this symposium. The papers are loosely organized under sub-themes for ease of discussion, though some of these papers could fall into more than one theme. I hope this will be a start for more connections and exchanges among ASEAN educators and scholars. This symposium is not possible without a grant from the National University of Singapore Global Relations Office, and I'm very deeply grateful to them. And today we also have a few of their representatives attending this symposium, so welcome. I would also like to thank my co-chair, Professor Oranratmanee from Chiang Mai University, the reviewers of the abstracts, the moderators for their help. Most importantly, I must thank my symposium coordinator, Rainbow Lee, who is our graduating student, for doing such an amazing job in helping to organize this symposium. And also the MC for today, Shan. Shan is our alumnus. And also the student volunteers who are managing the Zoom symposium today and tomorrow. So I hope you all will have a fruitful and enriching 2 days. Thank you. So I would like to invite Professor Oranratmanee.
Hi, good morning. My turn now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, all academics, lecturers, practitioners, and students. Also, good morning to Professor Peng and Wong Chii. Very glad to see you again. I remember that we met in the last symposium during 2021 or 20. I cannot remember quite correctly. It's during the very beginning of the pandemics, and we meet to do the vernacular architecture topics. This time, I think I talked to Professor Beng Kiang the first time we met, that wow, this must be destiny, because we talked in a very short period of time, with a difficult way of communication, but everything runs so well. After we have talked, we agree, almost everything that we have planned together. So I can feel at the very first sense of planning that this symposium must be a very successful one, and coming to this point, I am confident so much that we have done very good work. Also, during the selection of a speaker, guest speaker, we kind of discuss about who should be the speaker, and I think Professor John Liu will be the very great first guest speaker for us, and I hope you join us as well. I think the topic this time fits so well with the time of pandemics, because there must be something that going on during the time of disruption and adjustment. So I see the 19 papers that submit and 16 that come out today. I have a feeling that this is not only a fundamental or basic research, but it also reflects the changes in the times of crisis as well. So this is a very interesting topic to discuss. Lastly, my role as the co-chair cannot be this come to this point without many help of including Professor Beng Kiang's staff, Professor Beng Kiang herself. I would like to acknowledge your support along the process of planning and reviewing. And also I would like to acknowledge my team backup as well, Dr. Ampika, who will help chair the session. And lastly, I would like to thank NUS to approach us, and we open the door to work together again. And lastly, to thank the review panels, the speakers, participants, and everyone who helped make this symposium possible. With gratitude, we will see each other and discuss together again in the afternoon session tomorrow, and I think there will be things to come, and hope to see you guys again. I hope this symposium runs well, and we can build some community, new form of community network from this symposium as well. Thank you very much.